In this video, I'm going to break down 5 fasting tips you've never come across before. Number 5 on this list is a very powerful tip because it's giving you a long-term solution to fasting. So if you're a fasting beginner, or you haven't even started yet, you're thinking about doing fasting, or you've been doing it for months and years, you're going to get benefits from these 5 tips that I'm going to outline for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to teach you to burn more fat, increase more autophagy, and just maximize your results so you could get all the amazing benefits of fasting and none of the side effects of fasting. So before I get into the tips, I want to just briefly say hello. Thank you for joining me today. If you're not familiar with who I am, my name is Ben Azadi. I'm the best-selling author of 3 books. I'm the founder of Keto Camp. Here at Keto Camp, we are on a mission to educate and to inspire 1 billion people on planet Earth. And I want to thank you so much for spending part of your day with me. Let me know right now in the chat box down below where you are tuning in from. I'm here in beautiful Miami, Florida, Miami Beach, Florida. It's a sunny day. It's spectacular here today, and I want to know where you're tuning in from. So let's get into this. And then at the end, by the way, I'm going to be answering your questions, so you can start sending your questions in the chat box. When we talk about fasting, it's important to understand a few things. Fasting is a tool in the toolbox. It's a very powerful tool that can help get the job done, right? Just like a chainsaw could help get the job done. A chainsaw is a powerful tool, and a chainsaw could get you spectacular results, right? But a chainsaw could also hurt you, injure you, if you don't know how to use it. So more important than the tool is the person who wields that tool. It's how you use that tool. And that's what I'm going to break down here. Same thing with fasting. More important than the actual tool is how you use fasting. Because you could use fasting in a way that could hurt the body. You could use fasting in a way that could mess up the thyroid and cause you to gain weight by increasing inflammation. So I'm going to break down how to do it the right way versus the wrong way. And I can't wait for that. So let's get into tip number 1 here. The first keto hack fasting hack you've never come across before is this. How do you know if the fasting schedule you're following is the right fasting schedule for you? You might have heard of a 16-8 schedule or an 18 or an OMAD. We have all these fasting terminologies, right? How do you know if the schedule that you're following is working for you? Here's the answer. You gotta test. Don't guess, test. You wanna test your blood glucose and ketones throughout your fast. And this is how you do it. I hope you're taking notes here. If you're not, go grab your pen and paper, grab your fatty keto cup of coffee like I have mine right here, and start writing this down. Throughout your fast, test your glucose. Let's say in the morning you wake up, test your blood glucose, write it down. Test your blood ketones, write it down. And then throughout your fast, retest. So maybe 3 hours later, every 2 to 3 hours, keep testing your blood glucose and ketones. And here's what we want to see. We want to see glucose drop throughout that fast, and we want to see your ketones, your blood ketones, rise. We want that trend. That's showing your body is entering autophagy, burning fat, and you're getting a lot of the benefits from that fasting schedule, that fasting window. If you see the opposite, if you see your ketones rising during a fast and your ketones dropping and plummeting, that's not what we want. That's not a good thing. That means that schedule is not working for you. There are too many stressors going on in your life. It could be mental, emotional, chemical, physical stressors. So what we want to do, if that's the case for you, if you see the wrong trend, what you want to do is you want to shorten your fasting window and then kind of build that muscle back up, because fasting is a muscle that we develop over time. So for example, if you're fasting 18 hours a day and you do this test that I'm sharing with you here, and you see that you're getting the wrong trends here, you're seeing glucose rise during the fast and ketones drop, then take that 18-hour fast, drop it down to 16 hours and then retest and see what that does for you. If you're still seeing the wrong trend, drop it down to 14 hours, start eating more protein and fat with your meals, and then retest and then build that back up. fasting is a muscle. There's something else that I also want you to write down. I also want you actually to type this in the comment section after I teach it to you here. All right, so repeat it to me, type it in the comment section. There is no such thing as a failed fast. I want you to type that in the comment section below. No such thing as a failed fast. No such thing as a failed fast. Every fast has its benefit. Every fast is a learning experience. So we want to learn from that fast, just like any challenge in life. Fasting is a stress to the body. It is, but it's a good stress that builds you back up stronger and better than ever before. That's right, George. Good to see you, brother. That's right. Fasting is a stress to the body, but there's no such thing as a failed fast. That's right, Stacy. That's right, Bernadette. That's right, Angie, Nancy. I love it. I love it. Thank you for sharing that. Hey, David. Hey, Mohammed. Hey, Levi. So think of this. Here's the analogy I'm going to give you when it comes to fasting being a stress to the body. Think of a ship, right? I love this analogy because it makes a lot of sense. And you might have heard me share this before, but it's really repetition. Repetition is the father of learning, right? So think of a ship that's going through the Atlantic Ocean. This ship is now taking on a lot of water because it's going through a storm. And the passengers, the captain of that ship is going to tell all the passengers and the crew members to start looking for cargo that is not important, throw that cargo off the ship, autophagy, and let's get through the storm, and they're better and stronger as a result. Well, when your body is going through a fast, it's a stress to the body. But if you have too much stress in your life because of mental, emotional, chemical, physical, whatever it is, the fasting schedule that you have might be too much for you. It might be too much fasting. So you got to test your glucose and ketones to know for sure. And I just gave you the formula to do so. All right, that's tip number one. Before I move on to tip number two, please make sure you hit the thumbs up button here on YouTube. And if you're watching on Facebook, tag a friend who could use this information. Roy, good to see you, brother. The second fasting tip you've never heard before is this question, right? The question I get asked all the time. You probably have this question right now. Ben, does drinking coffee break my fast? Does drinking bulletproof coffee break my fast? What about apple cider vinegar? What about tea? Which liquids break your fast? Here's the answer. You got to test. It's going back to the first tip. Here's how you know if your coffee, your bulletproof coffee, your tea, whatever liquid it is breaking your fast. First of all, my definition of a fast being broken is anytime autophagy is stopped. All right, I'm going to get into autophagy in the next tip, but autophagy is a recycling process. It's one of the biggest benefit of fasting, and when you stop that, that's my definition of breaking a fast. So how do you stop that? Whenever you raise glucose. So here's how you know if your coffee or tea or whatever it is breaks your fast. Test your blood glucose before you have your liquid, right? You test your blood glucose, let's say it's 75, which is terrific. Then you want to make sure, and then you drink your coffee or tea, whatever it is, 30 minutes after you retest your blood glucose. If your blood glucose stays the same, hey, congratulations. It did not break your autophagy. It did not break your fast. You're still getting almost all the benefits of that fast, even having those calories, having the coffee or the tea. But if your glucose goes up more than 5 points, it is breaking your fast. It's breaking the autophagy. I would do it for 3 days in a row to get an average to see if it's working for you or not. I do want to state that, if you want to get the most from a fast, just water and sea salt. You'll get the most benefits from that fast. But if you do the test and it does not raise your glucose more than 5 points, then you could still get most of the benefits from that fast and still have your coffee, still have your tea. I'm curious, for those watching right now, have you tested this? Have you determined if coffee breaks your fast or not? For me, it does not break my fast. I'm wearing a CGM, a continuous glucose monitor, and I've tested and it does not raise my glucose. I'm one of the blessed ones. So that's how you know if coffee or liquid breaks your fast or not. You can do it with any liquid that you choose. Number 3 tip here is going to be enhance autophagy by doing fasted exercise. Let me break down autophagy I know a lot of you are familiar with it, but some of you are not, and I want to make sure I educate everybody on the call. So again, repetition is the father of learning. Autophagy, the definition of autophagy, the Greek definition is eat thyself. Your body is literally eating itself when you are not eating food. I know it sounds disgusting, but it's actually pretty remarkable. Autophagy, think of Pac-Man going within your cells, eating out the junk, cleaning out the junk. It's an intracellular Pac-Man, if you will. The body is so smart. The world's greatest physician, the world's greatest healer is within your body. You hear me say this all the time. There's no pill, no surgery, there's no supplement that can replace what you have right now inside of your body. You have access to this 24 hours a day. It's amazing. We are all miracles. We are all so blessed, and abundance is our birthright. When you harness this innate intelligence, the body heals and gets rid of the junk. How do you harness this innate intelligence? Through fasting. When you are not eating food, you are not giving your body... eating food, by the way, is a distraction to healing because it takes massive amounts of energy and resources and blood flow to process food. It does. If you're eating every 2 to 3 hours, if you're not practicing fasting, guess what happens? You're using a lot of your resources for digesting food. It takes about 14 hours, and that's being conservative, about 14 hours to process food. There was a study done at the University of Virginia. Dr. Zach Bush shared this on my Keto Camp podcast and on the Keto Camp YouTube channel. There was a study done where they gave these college students 800 calories of mellow mushroom pizza, which is a very popular pizza chain in Virginia. And they gave them 800 calories of pizza, which is, let's face it, a standard American diet, stupid American diet. And they wanted to track how long it took for the pizza calories to go from chewing to digesting to entering the small intestine, not even processing that entire meal. Guess how long it took? 14 hours. Meaning if you're eating a standard American diet and you're not fasting at least 14 hours, you're creating this backlog of dysfunction in your body, leading to acid reflux, gas, bloating, autoimmune disease, because autoimmune disease starts in the gut where your body is attacking itself. So when you fast, here's what happens. Now you have all of this energy, all of this blood flow, and all these resources that are now not being used for digesting food. Instead, it's being used to crush your day. It's being diverted to areas in your body that are needed for healing. It's being diverted towards autophagy. Okay, autophagy is a very powerful process that we want to take advantage of because your body is so smart that it'll look for the bad stuff first. Just like the refrigerator you have inside of your fridge that has groceries with expiration dates on them, your body's the same way. Your body's like this refrigerator. You have cells, you have proteins, mitochondria, fat that all have expiration dates on them. And autophagy is the process of getting rid of that junk, getting rid of bioaccumulated toxins in these damaged cells and getting rid of it. And here's what the body does. When your body is going through autophagy, remember the Pac-Man going within your cells, cleaning out the cells, and it has determined that these cells that are called senescent cells, aka zombie cells, when the body has determined that we cannot recycle this cell has no function. It is just hanging around, kind of suspended around your body, just creating inflammation leading to disease. Your body then gets rid of that cell altogether. It signals something called apoptosis, which is programmed cell death, aka cell suicide. Your body just gets rid of it. And then here's what it does next. It sends a signal for a stem cell, which is an immature cell, a very healthy cell, and it'll take that stem cell and put it to areas that need these healthier new cells. All of this is happening in the body during a fast. You don't have to do anything. How incredible is that? I mean, it just blows my mind just teaching this to you. And I've taught this for years, but every time I repeat it, it blows my mind. And you activate this process with fasting. So I'm still on tip number 2 here. How do you enhance autophagy? Add exercise in the fasted state, because exercise also harnesses or activates autophagy. When you work out, whether it's a run, a CrossFit workout, or lifting weights, whatever it is, you are breaking down muscle fiber. You are creating muscle tears, which is great, right? And then when you get sore from a workout, guess what? That's autophagy. Right now, my quads and my hamstrings are super sore. I did some dumbbell thrusters yesterday. I did some sprints. My legs are sore. Autophagy, baby. I got autophagy in my legs. So if you add fasting with exercise, you could get 2, maybe 3 times the autophagy, just by estimation, just a guess there. But you could get more autophagy with fasted workouts. So that's my tip number 2. If you're doing fasting and you're not exercising in the fasted state, go for it. You'll also get more fat loss, by the way, because when you enter an exercise in the fasted state on an empty stomach, you're putting your body fat at the front of this metabolic bus. Dr. Ben Bickman spoke about this on my interview with him. But when you eat a meal, like a banana or a protein shake, and then go into a workout, you're putting the food calories at the front of that metabolic bus, and your body has to burn the body fat, your body has to burn the food calories before it burns your body fat. We don't want that. So if you want increased fat loss, increased autophagy, go get in your fasted workouts 4, maybe 5 times per week. After I'm done with this live stream, I'm gonna go get in a fasted workout. I'm fasted right now. As you can tell, I am lit up and laser-like focused. All right, the next tip, before I get to it, thumbs up, please, if you're getting any value from this here on YouTube, and on Facebook, tag a friend, share this with somebody who could benefit from it. Oh, that was number 3, actually. Now let's move on to number 4. When you break your fast, it's important to break your fast the right way. There is a wrong way to break your fast, and there is a right way to break your fast. Let's talk about the wrong way first. The wrong way to break your fast is with a combination of carbohydrates and fat. We do not want to break the fast with a combination of carbohydrates and fat. What's a combination of carbohydrates and fat? Here are some examples of the wrong way to do it. Avocado toast, right? You have the avocado fat, you have the toast, not good. Rice and steak, not good. You have the steak, which is fat and protein, and then you have the rice, carbs, not good. Smoothie with fruits and fat, not good. We don't want to do that, because when you are breaking a fast, your hormones are sensitive. One of those hormones, insulin. Insulin's job is to make sure your glucose is regulated in the bloodstream. So when you eat carbohydrates to break a fast, you're going to spike glucose. Insulin will do a great job. Your pancreas, the beta cells of your pancreas, will be called these troops in your pancreas to take that glucose and take it out of the bloodstream and deliver it to the cells, unlock the cells, and then drive the blood glucose into the cells so glucose could go back down to an optimal level in the blood. Amazing. But if you have fat with that meal, fat goes along with it, and it could slow down your fat loss efforts. So we don't want that. So the question is, how do you break your fast without gaining weight? It's with breaking your fast with mostly protein and fat. I'll give you some options here. A keto smoothie would be terrific, right? Coconut milk, some collagen protein with some nut butters and ice. That's a great way to break your fast. That's mostly protein and fat, barely any carbs there. Also eggs and maybe avocado and some green leafy vegetables, another great way to break your fast. And then my favorite way to break a fast is with a high quality bone broth. I personally drink Kettle and Fire bone broth. They make a very high quality bone broth. You can make your own as well. I do have a coupon code with them, kettleandfire.com/ketocamp. Use KetoCamp at checkout for 15% off. So those are much better options for you to break your fast and continue with your fat loss efforts. I see a lot of questions coming in. Keep them coming. I'm going to do some Q&A at the end of this. I'm just getting through my 5 tips here. So if you're new to the channel, on KetoCamp YouTube channel, we just surpassed 110,000 subscribers, 111,000 subscribers. So please subscribe if you're brand new and hit the thumbs up button here. All right, number 5. Here's the last tip, and then I have a bonus tip for you. And then I'll go to Q&A, and then I have a special announcement, by the way. Here's how you maximize keto and fasting for long-term results. It is called my 5-1-1 rule. And I say my, but I got it from Dr. Pompa, my coach and mentor, so credit to Dr. Pompa, the greatest health educator in the world. 5-1-1 rule. Here's how you do it. Write this down. It's a weekly strategy. So 5-1-1 equals 7. So it's 7 days out of the week you follow this structure. 5 days out of the week, you're doing intermittent fasting. Whether it's 18-6, 16-8, whatever your favorite intermittent fasting schedule that you have determined works for you. So let's say it's 18-6 because that is my favorite schedule for most people. So 5 days out of the week, you're doing 18-6 intermittent fasting schedule, and you're eating keto-friendly foods because we want to keep you in ketosis for those 5 days. 1 day out of the week, you're completing a 24-hour water fast. Why are we doing a 24-hour water fast? Because you're getting more autophagy. So you're just going dinner to dinner for 1 day. This leaves one more day out of the week, which is what I call my Keto Flex day, my feast day. I'm writing a book all about this. On that 7th day, you're going to not practice fasting. What? You're gonna have breakfast, lunch, dinner, and you're not gonna follow keto either. You're gonna have more paleo, higher carbs. And when I say higher carbs, about 100 grams of healthy carbs and more protein on this day, less fat. Why are we doing that? Because we are forcing a change. It's creating adaptation. What do the greatest personal trainers and fitness coaches do? They always change up their client's workout, right? Keeps the body guessing, helps the client to continue getting results. That was the P90X and Beachbody programs work so well because of that. Well, when you change it up this way with the 5-1-1 rule and you have 1 day per week, which is that Keto Flex day, no fasting, higher healthy carbs, more protein, low fat, this creates adaptation, and good cells get stronger, bad cells don't adapt. So that is the 5-1-1 rule. There's other rules like the 4-2-1 rule, the 3-3-1 rule, and I go over all that in detail inside of the Keto Camp Academy. So members, that's your 4th pillar. Go check that out. All right, I have a bonus tip for you, and then I'm gonna announce a few things. Actually, first announcement is this. I'm gonna be doing the 5-1-1 is on the last pillar, Jessica, pillar number 4. I'm going to be doing the fasting webinar, free webinar. I have a few spots left called the Art of Fasting. I did it last month. It was a huge success. I'm going to be doing it again this Monday, which is Monday, September 28th. And it's going to be at 12 p.m. Eastern time. So if you want to secure your spot, I'm also giving away over $200 worth in free gifts and digital downloads for those who show up. Head to benazadiwebinar.com, benazadiwebinar.com to secure your spot. It'll take place this Monday. Only sign up if you can make it live. I can't guarantee a replay. I'd love to see you on there. I'm going to teach you some fasting strategies. Here's what I'm going to teach you, by the way, so you can see exactly what I'm going to teach you. When you go to benazadiwebinar.com, you're going to see this page right here. It's going to ask you to just put your email and first name and phone number to register. But you're going to learn how to start fasting. So if you're a beginner, that's great for you. The best foods to eat when you're not fasting, how to pair keto with fasting. And you're going to get all these free gifts when you register today. So I encourage you to go to benazadiwebinar.com. You'll be able to attend the webinar and get all these free gifts today. And I'd love to see you on there, taking place this Monday, September 28th. That's the first announcement. So let me go into my bonus tip, and then I'll get into your questions, and I have one more announcement that I'm going to announce. Bonus tip. Ladies, if you are a lady watching this right now, and you have a monthly cycle, a monthly period, here's what we want to do to fast for your hormones. 5 to 7 days before your monthly cycle, we do not want to practice much fasting. The reason is because 2 hormones drop during that period of the month, which is progesterone and estrogen. These hormones are important and needed for a healthy monthly cycle. And when you fast too much, it could create a heavy period, a painful period, and eventually maybe even lose your period. So 5 to 7 days before your monthly cycle, don't do much fasting, maybe 12 hours, 14 hours, but this is not the time where you want to do any block fasting or any kind of OMAD or 24-hour fasting. Keep your fasting to a minimum. That's my bonus hack for you. It'll make all the difference. And then once your monthly cycle hits, once your period hits, then you go all into fasting, all into keto. So hopefully that helps. All right, I'm going to answer your questions. Before I do, I want to know who signed up for the webinar. Type in webinar. I want to know who's going to be on that webinar this Monday, September 28th at 12 p.m. Eastern Time, 9 a.m. Pacific. I think that's 5 or 6 p.m. in the UK. Who's going to be there? Type in webinar. The announcement that I wanted to share is that, I know you can't see this on Instagram, but I'm going to be, this Friday, September 25th, I'm releasing a world premiere with my interview with Dr. Jason Fung. Dr. Jason Fung is a legend, and he's been on my Keto Camp podcast, Keto Camp YouTube channel, episode 24, where we talked about diabetes, obesity, reversing type 2 diabetes. In this conversation, it's about his upcoming book called The Cancer Code. 1 out of 3 women are diagnosed with cancer within their lifetime. 1 out of 2 men are diagnosed with cancer in their lifetime. And we still haven't answered the question, what is cancer really? The reason we haven't answered it is because there's so many different answers. So they haven't determined what the root cause of it is. So in this discussion with Dr. Fung, we talk about the root cause of cancer. I'm going to show you a clip here. Check this out.
If you think about cancer, so it's always been this great mystery about what it is.
Autophagy is the opposite of mTOR. mTOR is that growth pathway, the mechanistic target of rapamycin. Autophagy is the opposite, where it's more catabolic, but the body is seeking out damaged cells and damaged proteins, and it's getting rid of that.
Cancer is the number 2 cause of death in America, and yet we really have no idea what it is. That is, what is cancer? And there's a whole lot of answers, which means that there's nobody who, sort of knows.
I see commercials about smoking, about this is, what it's leading to, people that are breathing through pipes, and they're showing the dangers of smoking and how it leads to disease, but I never see this when it comes to diet.
How amazing was that trailer, right? So this Friday, on the Keto Camp podcast, it'll be out, and then also on the Keto Camp YouTube channel if you want to watch the video version. So I encourage you all to go to ketocamppodcast.com to subscribe to the Keto Camp podcast on Apple Podcast, and then on youtube.com/ketocamp to subscribe to the channel to watch the video interview with Dr. Fung. I'm going to post in the chat box here the Art of Fasting webinar for those of you asking. It's benazadiwebinar.com. Dr. Fung is incredible. I see so many of you saying he saved my life. He's amazing, and I agree. So you're going to love that. He's not doing, here's the deal. Dr. Fung is not doing a lot of interviews these days, and we're blessed to get him on our podcast. He loves the keto campers, and it was such a great discussion. It was an hour long, and it's going to really be, it's going to help you out for those who are interested in learning about cancer, preventing it, and if you have a loved one who has it, this is going to be an episode you want to watch. So, okay, my announcements are done. I'm going to get to your questions now, and Jessica says, what am I drinking? I'm drinking water with some electrolytes from Relight, Redmond's Relight. I have a coupon code with them. Keto Camp is the coupon code if you go to get their, have a great electrolyte powder. And I also put in some fulvic minerals in here. That's why it's brown. Before I get to more questions, let me know in the chat box, what was your favorite tip from today? I'll just kind of give you a brief outline of the 5 tips with the bonus, and let me know in the chat box which one resonated with you the most. Was it number 1, testing your glucose and ketones to see if your fasting schedule works for you? Was it number 2, determining if coffee or a liquid breaks your fast? Was it number 3, exercise to enhance, fasted exercise to enhance autophagy? Was it number 4, the right way to break your fast? Or was it number 5, the 5-1-1 rule? Or was it the bonus tip about your monthly cycle? Let me know in the chat box down below. Love Jason Fung. I love it too. The keto recipe is coconut milk with some collagen protein powder, maybe a tablespoon of walnut butter or sunflower seed butter, and some ice. You could also put in avocado, and I put a lot of avocados in my smoothies as well. Needy says it was the 5-1-1 rule. Jessica, that's because you study. You are such a student, and I love it, and I appreciate you so much. Webinar Charity, awesome, good to see you on there. Do I drink kombucha? Not typically. You know, there is an issue with drinking kombucha, by the way. I think kombucha is fine from time to time, especially, you know, if you don't have something like SIBO, but if you drink kombucha every day, it could create monocultures in your gut. That's not good. So if you drink kombucha, that's fine. If you drink too much, by the way, it might kick you out of ketosis, especially the ones that have a lot of sugar. But change the brand, mix it up, don't have it every day, and you should be fine. Charity says, you have given me so much info on keto and fasting. I appreciate you so very much. Thank you, Charity. Grateful for that, and I appreciate you as well. Is it very important to drink a gallon of water every day? You know, this is funny because I always get this question every week I'm live. You know, there's no answer to how much water, there is an answer actually. So let me just rephrase what I'm about to say. When I used to be asked, when I was the owner of a CrossFit gym, a personal trainer, Ben, how much water should I drink every day? I used to just regurgitate things that I read like in Men's Health magazine and online, which was, you want to drink half your body weight in ounces. You want to drink a gallon of water each day, or if you want to drink 8 glasses of water each day. All that's nonsense. Here's how you know if you're drinking enough water or not. Drink when you're thirsty and make sure your urine is mostly clear. If you are accomplishing those two things, that's how you know you're drinking enough water. I'll repeat that. Drink when you're thirsty and make sure your urine is mostly clear. That's how you know. Awesome. Rebecca joined the webinar. Jeff, Angie, can't wait to see you on Monday. Beth, if you don't have your monthly cycle, then you could do the 5-1-1 rule. If you missed what the 5-1-1 rule is, watch the replay because I went over it in detail. Doesn't matter what day you eat the carbs. No, it doesn't matter. Whatever's best for your schedule. Good question. Deborah joined the webinar. I love it. Manuel Morales, I am in my 6th week of keto and I lost 9 to 10 pounds. Why? That's awesome. Congrats. Are you asking if you want to lose more weight? Here's the deal. For those who are interested in weight loss, we do not lose weight to get healthy. We get healthy to lose weight. Meaning, if you have extra weight right now, if you're overweight, being overweight is not the problem. Nobody in the history of this world has ever had a weight problem. What? I was obese for most of my life. I weighed 250 pounds if you don't know my story. I did not have a weight problem. I never had a weight problem. I had a weight symptom, okay? The real problem is the hormones, the metabolism, that an amazing orchestra you have inside your body. So keep focusing on reducing cellular inflammation by doing healthy keto flexing, by doing different fasting strategies, by reducing that stress bucket. And you will lose weight as a side effect because your hormones will now communicate to your cells and they will dock and your fat burning hormones will do its job. So focus on non-scale victories. Do not focus on the number of the scale on the scale. It'll just drive you nuts. Focus on your energy levels, your sleep, your skin, the way your clothes fit, your confidence, the way measurements, body fat. These are more important than the weight. What about veggie, carbs, and fats? Is that okay to break a fast? Yeah, Stacy. So if you want to have like green leafy vegetables with fat, that's totally fine because those green leafy vegetables are not going to spike your glucose that much, so it won't cause that issue. Let me go on Facebook here. I see a lot of you posting. Mary joined the webinar. I love it. How to break the fast was my favorite, says Paulette. I love that, Paulette. Hey, on Facebook, tag a friend here right now who could use this information. David says breaking the fats correctly. Is 100% pure cranberry juice acceptable on keto, and what does it do? It could be, as long as you don't overdo it. You could always test your ketones and glucose to see if it's knocking you out of ketosis. Cranberry juice could help the bladder. It could help urinary tract infections. So if you want to have a little bit, it should be good as long as it doesn't have any added sugar. All of it very helpful. I love it. Hey, Kay Stevenson, good to see you. KK. Mason, good to see you. Nathan, good to see you. We have Keto Camp Academy members in the house. Ron Ferguson says, won't going out of keto for a week make us gain weight? Females? It should not, because when I say getting out of ketosis, it's with healthy carbs. And it's still somewhat low carb, 100 grams. So it should not. And if it does, it's just water weight and it'll come right off. So just make sure you're eating healthy carbs and not going crazy. Roy, thank you so much for tagging Lindsay. I appreciate you so much. Beth says, I lost 13 kilograms in 18 months. Keep it going, Beth. That is terrific. Mona, I love all your webinars and tips. I love you, Mona. Trisha, good to see you. I'm attending the Art of Fasting webinar a couple times. A very important and worthwhile. Thank you, Trisha. I appreciate you. Does stress really attribute to weight loss? Stress typically attributes to weight gain, not weight loss. You know, if you do lose weight with stress, it's not you're losing a lot of muscle and protein, and it's unhealthy weight loss. Can I get an example of healthy carbs? Yes, you can. Write this down. Fruit. Berries are my favorite. Blueberry, blackberry, raspberries, strawberries. I also like sweet potatoes. I like resistant starches, organic basmati rice from India. I also like ancient grains if you could tolerate, if your stomach is good, your digestion is good. I also like yams and yuca. Those are all good. I have a list in my Keto Kickstart Guide, which is a free resource for you. Go to ketokickstartguide.com, ketokickstartguide.com, for you to check that out. Riley King, I've been out of keto for about a month with a change in support workers. What's the best way to readapt? The best way, if you want a structure and coaching, is to join my Keto Camp Academy, where I have a 28-day pillar to teach you how to get back into ketosis. You go to ketocampacademy.com. There's a special deal for that. But you want to gradually decrease your carbohydrates while you increase your protein and fat, and make sure you're not snacking in between your meals, and then go from there. Eventually, as you drop your carbs below 50 grams, you should be in the great land of ketosis. George, is it better to fast and not consume bone broth during the fast as it breaks the fast? Or are there benefits to a longer fast, say 36 hours or before doing intense exercise? George, the best thing to do is just water and sea salt if you want to get the most of that fast. But if you are struggling to keep that fast going and you want to go 36 hours, but you're struggling, if you want to have bone broth as a crutch, go for it. Go for it. Should we use the 5-1-1 protocol after being in ketosis for some time, or can we do it right away? Yeah, great question. You don't want to do it right away. You want to do it after quite some time. So in my Keto Camp Academy, I have a 4-pillar approach that I teach this. It's connecting all the dots for keto and fasting. So look, if you want structure and coaching from me and workouts with me and just an amazing community, go to ketocampacademy.com. But it's the 4th pillar that I teach, that 5-1-1 keto flexing. And that takes about 4 months to get there. So we want to do the work first. We don't want to go right into the 5-1-1. We want to reset the metabolism, help the body burn fat, and then we earn the badge to do that. Typically it takes about 4 months. Monica, Keto Camp Academy member, good to see you. Beautiful Monica. You're welcome, Stacy. Glad you're enjoying this. And yes, this is being recorded. Can I break the fast with a cucumber? Yeah, you can. Go for it. And I saw my brother Steve was on here. Steve's a fasting machine as well. I'm going to answer a couple more questions and then I'm going to sign off. So, Patricia, good to see you. Would you post a link about kombucha tea reference from today? Also, would you discuss the relationship between low ferritin levels and low thyroid? I'd like to read more on that topic and keto. So, Patricia, go check out Dr. Zach Bush and type in monoculture and probiotic, and you should see a lot of his resources on that. The issue with taking the same probiotic is the monoculture, and kombucha has probiotics. So when you drink it over and over and over, it could create these monocultures, and we don't want that in the gut. I know you know that, Patricia, because you study this as well. So I don't have any specific things at the top of my head, but I know I got that from Dr. Zach Bush, and just do a Google search, Dr. Zach Bush, monocultures, probiotic, and it'll come right up. And I think I discussed it with him on the interview as well. And then I don't have any resources on low ferritin and thyroid, so I'd have to do some research on that. Actually, I did answer that. I did post some resources on ferritin and thyroid in the Keto Camp Academy. The members have access to that. Let's see. Can everyone get in ketosis even with health conditions, high blood pressure? I would argue that ketosis is imperative for reversing high blood pressure. So yeah, anybody could get into ketosis. Now, how long it takes and the structure and the details is different for every person. Of course, there's always exceptions to every rule, of course. But ketosis, keto, my shirt says I'm in ketosis. You can get this over at on YouTube. There's links down below. Keto is not a diet. Keto is a metabolic process, a metabolic state that has been around for as long as humans. That's right. As long as humans have existed. Same thing with fasting. So when we harness this innate intelligence within us, the body downregulates inflammation, the body thrives. So I hope that was helpful. Thank you to the hundreds of you who are live here on YouTube. Thank you to those who are live here on Instagram and Facebook. I love you all so much. Every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Time, I'm live here. I'm going to call it the Keto Camp Show. I have not missed one Wednesday being live with you in over a year. That's 52 plus times in a row. So I hope you join me next Wednesday. If you want to watch the replay, that'll be posted here on the Keto Camp YouTube channel. Go join my Keto Camp webinar, fasting webinar, benazadiwebinar.com. Stay tuned for my interview with Dr. Jason Fung on the cancer code this Friday. I'm so grateful you spent part of your day with me. Love you. Appreciate you, and I look forward to next Wednesday being live with you again. And have an amazing day. Stay in love, stay in gratitude, and be great because, hey, nothing else pays. Thank you all. Love you.